About a paw, Nana. This is serious, Nana.
Hello, friends. I sit in front of you today with a great sense of frustration and sadness. Following the South Carolina Supreme Court's recent rulings, we have lost more good candidates in counties across the state. Now, I wish I could tell you that there's a quick and easy way to solve all of these recent issues. But I can tell you that my entire party leadership and I are just as frustrated, disgusted, and anguished about all this as all of you are. Now, while we're committed to following the ruling of the court, we are simply stunned by these recent decisions. I can't help but think about the hard-working, regular South Carolinians, just like me and you, who put themselves and their reputations on the line to run for office, only to find out they're not qualified for the ballots. Many people spend their own hard-earned money just because they feel a calling to step up and get involved in this process. I can't help thinking, too, about all the party activists and the workers who've poured their hearts and souls into working for those candidates, knocking on doors, standing on the roadsides waving signs, and just helping to educate voters about the choices that a primary offers them. I think about the hundreds of thousands of South Carolina voters who've effectively had their ballots cast for them, disenfranchised by a system that has quite simply failed. Behind the scenes, our entire Republican team has worked tirelessly and respectfully throughout the whole process. But our once sovereign primaries have been disrupted by lawsuits and court rulings. Frankly, it's pretty disgusting to me. The ironic thing about this is that the economic disclosure form in question, that Statement of Economic Interest, or SEI, is basically a form of simple contact and financial information for the vast majority of candidates who receive no government compensation anyway. No person was trying to do anything wrong. No person was trying to hide anything from voters. And no county party officials were trying to do anything except execute the state government's instructions for filing. As I've said repeatedly, we will comply with the court's rulings. However, we continue to believe that those candidates who submitted their SEIs on time, in good faith, regardless of whether they filed paper forms or online forms, were in compliance with the spirit and the intent of the law. There's no question in my mind that the voters had every bit of information necessary to make the choices on primary day. And that's why we work so hard to certify every candidate possible. We strongly believe that free and fair elections are central to preserving our republic, and you, the voter, deserve choices. When the state agencies entrusted to guide this process are in conflict and the court's rulings muddy the waters, it's no wonder that widespread confusion exists. The State Ethics Commission's instructions to candidates read, and I quote, "The Statement of Economic Interest is the only report that needs to be filed online immediately after an individual files as a candidate with a filing officer," end of quote. And then from the first page of the Ethics Commission's instructions, quote, "Paper copies of these reports are no longer accepted," end quote. The problem is that these state government instructions directly contradict the Supreme Court's rulings, and candidates who followed the instructions were subsequently kicked off the ballots. Again, I'm as angry and as frustrated by these recent events as you are. My message today is simply to tell you we're in this battle together, and we're fighting hard for our Republican team. Please stand strong in the face of these challenges. As you've likely heard me say before, I believe that every adversity contains a seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. There is a bigger picture we have to see. We will get through this. We will win the 7th Congressional for Republicans. And not only will we remain a red state this fall, but we will be sending South Carolina Republicans to swing states around the country to defeat Barack Obama. I believe we can and will emerge as a stronger and more unified party. It is my distinct honor to serve you as your chairman, and I thank y'all for taking time to watch this message. I'll see you soon. God bless y'all.